So, have you ever really stopped to think about success? Like, maybe it isn't something you just chase down.
You mean like hunting it?
Yeah, exactly. But maybe it's something you attract, or, the idea that if you want your life to change, you actually have to change first.
Right. Those are pretty big ideas. They kind of go against the grain sometimes, don't they? We usually hear just, work harder or change your circumstances.
Exactly. Wait for things outside to change. But what if the real key is, well, inside you?
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the heart of our deep dive today. We got some fantastic source material from a listener. It's this classic seminar, really powerful stuff, all about personal development and how to build a genuinely better future.
Yeah. And our mission really is to unpack it with you. We want to pull out the core insights, the really important nuggets that the speaker shares about making real personal and, well, economic shifts.
Think of it like getting the essence, right? The concentrated wisdom.
Pres-
And the speaker lays out the main theme right at the start. It's super direct. He says, the major key to your better future is you.
Wow. Yeah, that definitely puts it back on us, doesn't it? It's saying, look, it's not mainly about luck or what happens to you. It's about who you decide to become.
Okay, so let's dig into that right away. The seminar kicks off with this fundamental challenge. He puts it like this. You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are.
It's very clear cause and effect there. If you want more on the outside,
You need more inside.
you need more on the inside, yeah.
Hmm.
And then he hits you with the flip side, which is maybe a bit uncomfortable. Unless you change how you are, you'll always have what you got.
Oof. Yeah. It comes right back to that main idea that change starts with you, period.
And he uses this interesting point about income to make it concrete. He argues that your income level rarely gets much higher than your level of personal development.
Right, like they're tied together. He gives this example. What if someone just gets lucky, right?
Oh.
Wins the lottery, inherits $1 million. Yeah.
He says, well, to keep that million, you have to quickly become a millionaire,
Yeah.
not just have the cash.
You mean like mindset, habits?
Exactly. The mindset, the discipline, the know-how. Otherwise, he says, poof, it'll vanish just as fast as it showed up.
That makes sense. It reminds me of that idea he mentions about how if you divided all the money equally,
Oh, yeah, that word.
it would somehow end up back in the same pockets pretty quickly, which suggests there's this internal capacity, right? A way of being that holds on to wealth or success.
Which leads straight to this really powerful shift in thinking. Success isn't something you pursue out there.
Right.
It's something you actually attract
Yeah.
by working on yourself. He even says, success is looking for a good place to stay.
I like that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you become that good place.
You become that good place through personal development. Yeah.
Yeah.
So based on that, the really big question isn't just, what am I getting paid?
Or what are the perks?
Right. The real question is, what am I becoming here in this job, in this situation, whatever it is? Because, according to the source, that's where the real juice is, the real happiness. It's not just in what you get.
It's who you become.
It's who you become in the process.
Okay, so this focus on becoming more, it apparently led the speaker himself to puzzle over something early on. He'd see two people, same company, same age, same background, basically identical situations,
Uh-huh.
but one is making way, way more money than the other.
Yeah.
Why?
What was the difference? Same resources, same market.
Exactly, and the answer he landed on was one word: value.
Value.
Value makes the difference in results. You can't get more than 24 hours in a day.
Oh,
Right.
still 24.
But you can increase the value you deliver within that time. And this ties into his first lesson of economics. You get paid primarily for the value you bring to the marketplace.
Not just for the time you punch in.
Right. Time is necessary, obviously. It takes time to create value. But the reward reflects the impact, the quality of that value.
So the next logical question is it actually possible then? Can you become, say, twice as valuable, 3 times as valuable, and make that much more money in the same amount of time?
And the seminar's answer is a definite yes. But only if you make that conscious choice to work primarily on yourself.
Okay, that's the condition.
That's the condition. And this is where he shares this huge piece of advice he got. The thing he calls the biggest clue for being wealthy and happy. It came from his mentor, a Mr. Schuff.
What did he say?
Simple, direct. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job.
Wow, that really flips the script, doesn't it? Most people focus entirely on the job tasks.
Totally. But this is about building the engine inside. And Schuff apparently didn't sugarcoat things. He just laid it out. For things to change for you, you gotta change.
No escape clause there.
None. And the speaker admits, That wasn't what he wanted to hear back then. He was hoping his boss would change, or the government, or the economy, anything but him having to change.
Understandable. But the message here is clear. Waiting for the outside world to change isn't the reliable way forward. Self-change is.
Okay, so if changing ourselves is the key, how do we deal with the world while we're doing that? The speaker introduces this really brilliant analogy. He says, life and business is like the changing seasons.
Ah, the seasons analogy. Yeah, that's powerful.
It's central, right?
Yeah.
He's saying the basic patterns of life, they aren't going to change. The tide goes in and out, night follows day, winter follows fall. Opportunity always shows up mixed with difficulty. It's been like this for thousands of years.
And it's probably not going to change just for us.
Exactly. And paired with that unchanging reality is the crucial part. You cannot change the seasons, but you can change yourself.
That's the leverage point.
That's the leverage point. That's how things get better for you.
Yeah.
Not because the world magically gets easier, but because you get stronger, wiser, better within that unchanging cycle. It's about your change.
Okay, so how does this season's idea break down into practical lessons?
He gives 4 major ones. Lesson 1, learn how to handle the winters.
Winters meaning the hard times.
Yeah. The difficulties, the dark nights, the disappointments, recessions, when things just go wrong, when your heart's broken. Economic winters, personal winters, social winters. You can't just cancel January, right?
Nope, it keeps showing up.
But you can use winter. You can get stronger, wiser, better during the winter.
Okay, so it's about your response to the hard times.
Exactly. And this leads to what he calls a life-changing phrase. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better.
Ooh, I like that.
Isn't that good? And the variations. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenge, wish for more wisdom. That's how you handle winter focus on your own growth in the difficulty.
Okay, that makes sense. What's lesson 2?
Lesson 2, learn how to take advantage of the spring. Spring is opportunity and it always follows winter. But the key here is urgency. You got to take advantage fast.
Why fast? Opportunities stick around, don't they?
Well, according to the seminar, you only get handed so many major springs in your lifetime. Life's relatively short, so when the ground is fertile, you got to be ready to plant. Quick.
Ah, so it's about recognizing the window and acting.
Right. He basically says you have a choice. Get good at planting in the spring, or prepare to be begging in the fall. It means being aware, reading the signs, and moving when opportunity knocks.
Got it. Spring is for planting? What about summer? Lesson 3.
Lesson 3, learn how to protect your crops all summer. So, you planted in the spring, seize the opportunity. Now what? Well, expect challenges. He calls them busy bugs and noxious weeds, intruders.
Things that attack your progress.
Exactly. He states it as a flat-out truth. All good will be attacked on this planet. Your garden, your business, your relationships, your values. Every garden will be invaded, he says. All values must be defended.
So learning to protect what you've started is a critical skill.
Huge skill. You got to fend off the intruders if you want to see a harvest.
Which brings us to the fall, I guess.
Yeah.
Lesson 4.
Lesson 4. Learn how to reap in the fall without complaint. Fall is harvest time. You get the results of what you sowed and protected, and the big message here is taking full responsibility for those results, good or bad.
Responsibility again. No blaming.
Zero blaming. He calls it the highest form of human maturity. You look in the mirror. If you did well, you reap without apology. If you didn't do well, you reap without complaint or excuses.
That's tough. It's easy to blame the weather or the economy.
Oh, totally. He shares his own story, had this long list of things to blame. The government, taxes, prices, traffic, the weather.
Everything but himself.
Everything but himself. And his mentor, Schaff, just looked at the list and said, big problem with your list. You ain't on it.
Ouch. Direct.
Super direct. The point is, external stuff happens to everyone. Rain falls on everybody. The sun sets for everybody. The difference is what you do about it.
Right. Like his example of the 2 guys in the rain, one quits, the other sees an advantage.
Exactly. It's all about your action, your response. So the seminar really puts it to you, the listener. Starting tomorrow, what are you going to do that'll make a change in your life's direction?
Because if you don't do anything different...
Things probably stay the same, yeah.
Okay, so we've got this framework, change yourself, handle the seasons, take responsibility. But how do you actually do that? What are the practical steps?
Good question. The source material gets into that. A major one is discipline.
Discipline. Not always the most popular word.
Maybe not, but it's presented as a huge step towards human progress. He actually suggests getting excited about your ability to make yourself do the necessary things, even when you don't feel like it.
How do you build that? It sounds daunting.
Start small. He advises starting with little disciplines. Consistently doing the small, right things builds that muscle, It gives you the practice and strength for the bigger challenges later on.
Okay, small steps build the muscle. What else?
Self-motivation. This is interesting. The source basically argues that self-motivation is the only kind that really lasts.
Really, not external motivation.
Not in the long run. You can't truly change other people. They have to want it themselves. He learned this lesson the hard way, trying to motivate salespeople. His conclusion, good people are not trained, they're found.
So don't wait for someone else to light your fire.
Exactly. Don't give your motivation away. You got to cultivate it from within.
Okay, discipline, self-motivation. What's next for making change happen?
A really crucial one, deciding to find out how things work. The speaker believes ideas are incredibly valuable. The main problem holding people back isn't usually a lack of money or even the problems themselves.
It's lack of ideas.
It's lack of ideas on how to create wealth or solve those problems effectively.
So how do you get ideas?
Through study. That's the key word. Study success. Study happiness. Study wealth creation. Don't just hope you stumble onto the answers. And importantly, capture those ideas when you find them.
Like write them down.
Yeah, keep a journal. Don't use your head as a filing cabinet, he says, and use repetition to really drill those ideas in.
And what fuels the finding out process?
Curiosity. He calls it the best human virtue for finding out. Cultivate childish curiosity.
Meaning?
Be persistent. Keep asking questions. Bug people, if you have to, until you understand. Don't be afraid to ask why.
Like a kid.
Exactly. He actually says be like a child in 4 ways. Curiosity, excitement, faith, and trust. Adults get skeptical, but that childish faith and trust can be really powerful.
Okay, so study, be curious. Are there specific methods he suggests for finding out?
Yes, 3 main ways. First, read. Become a good reader.
Why reading specifically?
Because books are like condensed experience. You learn from what others went through, saving yourself potentially years of mistakes. Successful people often write down how they did it.
But people don't always read it.
Right. He finds it amazing that so many people can read, but choose not to. He tells the story about someone struggling financial but saying they're too busy watching TV to read books. It highlights, priority.
Yeah, that's telling. What's the second way to find out?
Learn the setup. Understand the fundamental laws or principles that govern how things work, whether it's physics, like gravity, or principles of economics or human interaction.
Why is learning the setup so important?
2 big reasons. 1, to keep from getting hurt. Ignorance can lead to disaster, right? Like not understanding gravity and stepping off a roof.
Okay, safety first.
And 2, to benefit. Once you understand how things work, you can get on the good side of those laws. You can use them to your advantage. It's not about whether you like the law. It's about understanding it works and aligning yourself with it.
Learn the rules of the game. Got it. And the third way?
Guard your mind. Fiercely. He describes the mind as a mental factory.
A factory. How so?
Everything you let in, thoughts, books, news, conversations, these are the ingredients you pour into that factory. And those ingredients directly build the fabric of your life, your economic life, your social life, your financial reality.
Wow. So what you consume mentally creates your world.
Pretty much. He quotes the Bible. As you think, so you become. He uses this analogy of sugar versus strychnine in coffee. Even a tiny bit of poison ruins the whole thing.
So negative input, bad information, pessimism.
Yeah.
It's like poison.
Exactly. Even if it comes from friends or seems harmless, if it's damaging, it's poisoning your mental factory. Mr. Schoaf's advice was critical here. Every day, stand guard at the door of your mind.
Be a gatekeeper for your own thoughts.
You have to be selective. What you let in becomes you.
Okay, that's powerful. Are there specific laws he focuses on beyond just the general idea of learning the setup?
Yes, he highlights 2 fundamental laws, drawing from timeless wisdom, often found in sources like the Bible that really govern outcomes. The first is the law of use.
The law of use. What's the principle?
Simple and maybe a bit harsh. Whatever you don't use, you lose.
Use it or lose it.
Pretty much. Applies to everything. Muscles, skills, mental abilities, ambition, even strong feelings like faith or energy. If you stop using something, it just atrophies. You forfeit it automatically.
Any examples?
The classic one he uses is the parable of the talents. The master gives servants money. The ones who used it, invested it, doubled it, and got rewarded.
And the one who didn't.
The one who was scared and just buried his talent. He lost even that. It was taken away and given to the one who had the most. The direct meaning, as the seminar puts it, is whatever you do not employ, you forfeit. It's presented as an unavoidable law.
Okay, law of use. What's the second one?
The law of sowing and reaping. We've all heard it. Whatever you sow, you shall reap. And he adds a warning, don't try to beat it.
So, consequences for actions.
Absolutely. It works negatively, so bad stuff, reap bad stuff. Thistle seeds won't give you pumpkins. And it works positively, sow good stuff, reap good stuff.
Hmm.
Pumpkin seeds give you pumpkins. Nature's fair that way.
Makes sense.
But here's a crucial point he emphasizes. You always reap much more than you sow.
More? How does that work?
It amplifies. Sow a little good, and the harvest can be huge, but sow a little bad. Sow to the wind, he says, and you reap the whirlwind. It works both ways, magnifying the results.
Okay, so small actions have big consequences, positive or negative.
Exactly. And maybe the most important way he phrases this law, bringing it back to responsibility, is whatever you reap is what you've sown.
Back to the mirror.
Back to the mirror. If you don't like the results, the crop in your life, look at the planter that's you. It forces you to own your outcomes.
Does he acknowledge that sometimes bad things just happen, though, like external factors?
Yes, absolutely. That's point 6 he makes. Sometimes you could lose. Sometimes it hails on your crop or rains on your parade, as he puts it. Life happens, but you still have to be ready for that possibility. You have to have sown enough that you can withstand some losses.
Okay, so it's not foolproof, but the principle holds.
Right. And the final point, maybe the simplest, if you don't sow, you don't reap. If you don't plant anything, you don't even get a chance at a harvest. You gotta get some sowing going.
And he connects this back to time again, doesn't he?
He does. People say they don't have time, but he circles back to that TV example. That time could be used for sowing, learning, planning, acting. It could yield a fortune, not just money, but a richer life.
Okay, laws of use, sowing and reaping,
Yeah.
powerful stuff. Let's shift to goals. This seems like a big focus for him, too.
Oh, huge. He argues that without setting goals, life just kind of drifts. It deteriorates into making a living instead of designing a life. You get caught just surviving, not actively creating something meaningful.
Breaking out of the day-to-day grind.
Exactly. And the key insight here, again from Mr. Schoaf, was profound. If you had enough reasons, you could do the most incredible things.
Reasons. Not goals, but reasons.
Reasons behind the goals. Reasons are the fuel. They change everything. Schoaf apparently told him his bank account wasn't low because he wasn't smart. It was low because he lacked compelling reasons to make it higher.
Huh. So the why is more important than the what's initially.
That's the principle. Reasons come first, answers come second. Life only gives up the how-to to people who are truly inspired by their why. If your reason is strong enough, you'll figure out the answers.
Okay, so what kind of reasons are powerful enough?
He talks about a few types. Personal reasons like the feeling of winning, getting recognition, respect, just the pure satisfaction. He mentions millionaire friends who keep working just for that joy of achieving.
It's the game, not just the prize.
Exactly. Then there are family reasons, doing things for others you might not do just for yourself. Seeing your family happy, providing for them, that can be a huge driver. He tells a story about a guy motivated by his family's travel dreams.
Using others as inspiration.
Yeah. And then there are the nitty-gritty reasons. Sometimes these are the most potent.
Nitty-gritty, like what?
Like raw, emotional stuff, often tied to pain or dignity.
Huh?
He shares 2 really personal stories here. One about being a kid and not having $2 for Girl Scout cookies, the embarrassment, the lie he told. It created this intense decision. I don't want to live like this anymore. That became a powerful reason.
Wow. A small incident with huge impact.
Totally. And another one about being harassed by a debt collector. It made him so angry, so determined. He decided right then to get rich, pay it off dramatically, and tell the guy, I will never be back. That anger, that desire for dignity, fueled massive change.
And he mentions his friend Bob Dew, too, right?
Yeah, Bob quit teaching for sales. His brother laughed at him, mocked him, and Bob got so mad he just decided, I'm going to get rich. It reminds him of Frank Sinatra's line, the best revenge is massive success.
So find reasons that really hit you emotionally. Get a long list.
Get a list long enough to inspire you. You might not know how you'll achieve things yet, but if the reasons burn hot enough, you'll find the way.
Okay, so once you have the reasons, how do you actually set the goals? He gives a simple formula, right?
Yeah, a basic starting point. Part 1, long-range goals. These are your dreams, 3, 5, 10 years out, even longer. What do you really want to do? B, C. He stresses, without dreams and visions, people perish. Don't lose sight of your big picture.
Okay, the big vision. What's part 2?
Part 2, short-range goals. These are confidence builders. Goals for tomorrow, this week, this month, this year. Nailing these smaller goals builds momentum, builds that feeling of competence you need for the big dreams.
Makes sense. Step by step. Does he categorize goals?
Yep. Economic goals, money, income, profit. He says these need to be meticulously well planned. Planning your finances seriously puts you in the top 5%, he claims.
Okay, plan the money side carefully.
Then, things goals, literally make a list of everything you want, big stuff, small stuff. Part of the fun is checking things off. Got it, got it. And celebrate the big wins. Both winning and losing are learning experiences, he says. And congratulating yourself is actually mature.
Interesting. What other category?
Personal development goals. Goals about who you want to become. Stronger, more decisive, better speaker, learn a new skill. This goes back to the core idea becoming more is what attracts good things.
Right. It all links back. So how do you actually work on these goals?
3 key steps he outlines. A, actually work on your goals. This means planning. It takes effort. He points out many people work hard at their job, but not on their future plan. Failing to plan is planning to fail, right?
Heard that one before. Okay, so make the plan.
B, write your goals down. He says this is so important. Put them in a journal. It helps you study yourself, track progress, and it shows you're actually serious about improving. The future gets better by plan, not by just hoping. He's pretty down on passive hope.
Get serious. Write it down. Got it.
C. Check the size and kinds of your goals. This is crucial because your goals actually affect you.
Yeah, so?
They change your attitude, your personality, even how you carry yourself, your handshake, how you talk, how you dress. Lousy goals, like just aiming to scrape by and pay bills, have a depressing effect. They don't make you want to jump out of bed. Your goals need to be big enough, exciting enough to really turn you on.
Okay, goals need to inspire you personally. Makes sense.
And then, drawing on wisdom again, he offers this core philosophy for getting what you want. It's one word: ask.
Ask. That's simple.
That's the starting point. Asking begins the process of receiving. He argues receiving isn't the issue. There's plenty available, like an ocean. Success isn't scarce. But the problem is that most people fail to ask, or they ask poorly.
Like his example of being a good worker but a poor asker.
Exactly. Don't go to the ocean of abundance with a tiny teaspoon, he says. Trade it for a bucket. Ask for more.
How do you ask effectively then?
2 ways. First, ask with intelligence. Be clear, be specific, define exactly what you want. When goals are clear, they act like magnets, pulling you towards them.
Okay, clarity and specificity.
Second, ask with faith. Believe you can actually get it. Approach it with the trust of a child, not the cynicism of an adult. His formula: plan like an adult, believe like a child. He even suggests just trying this whole approach for 90 days.
Plan meticulously, believe wholeheartedly. Interesting combo.
And he adds a final reality check on goals. You won't get everything you ask for. Life involves setbacks. Sometimes you lose. That's just how it is. But if you use this whole process, strong reasons, clear goals, long and short range, work on them, write them down, check their power, ask with intelligence and faith, you can absolutely get plenty for a life of wealth and happiness.
Okay, so it's a powerful framework, but not magic. It requires work and acknowledges setbacks.
Exactly. But even with all that, the seminar warns about some pitfalls, things that can derail you. He calls them attitude diseases.
Attitude diseases, like what?
First one, overcaution, the timid approach.
Playing it too safe.
Yeah, always worried about risk, asking what if this goes wrong. His counter is blunt. It's all risky. Doing nothing is risky too. He says, wait till they hand you the bill for not trying.
Oof, the cost of inaction.
Right. His point is, you're not getting out of life alive anyway, so you might as well give it a go. Don't seek security above all else, seek adventure. It's about the quality of life, how you live, not just how long you hang around safely in a corner.
Live fully, even with risk. Okay, what's the next disease?
Pessimism. He calls this one deadly. Always looking for the bad, the problems, why things can't work.
The glass half-empty crowd.
Big time. He says the pessimist leads an ugly life because they focus on faults and are actually sort of pleased when they find them. They see the specks on the window, not the sunset.
And this links back to the mental factory idea, right?
Absolutely. He says our lives are mostly affected by the way we think things are, not the way they are. Poor thinking habits, he argues, not poor working habits, are what keep most people poor. It's the ingredients you allow in your mind.
So pessimism is like pouring poison into your factory.
Exactly. And the last disease he highlights is complaining. Whining, griping, murmuring, all of it.
Also deadly.
Presented as equally deadly. A total waste of time. Spend 5 minutes complaining, you've wasted 5 minutes. He calls it economic cancer of the bone. Indulge in it too much, and your future gets canceled.
Strong words. Does he give an example?
He mentions the biblical story of the Israelites complaining constantly in the desert and never reaching the promised land. His takeaway: even God has limits on how much whining he'll put up with.
Wow. Okay, so avoid overcaution, pessimism, and complaining.
Yeah. The overall message is vigilance. Be on guard against these things that can destroy your progress. He says the war is on, mentally, personally, socially, economically, and you have to actively fight to make sure you're winning it by managing your attitude.
So wrapping this all up, this deep dive really hammers home a consistent message, doesn't it?
It really does. That the major key, the absolute foundation for a better future is, well, it's you. It's your personal development.
Yeah, understanding that growth inside leads to results outside. Learning to navigate life's seasons, those ups and downs.
Understanding those fundamental laws, like use it or lose it and sow and reap. Taking those practical steps. Discipline. Study, guarding your mind.
And setting those clear goals, fueled by really powerful personal reasons, asking for what you want effectively.
And constantly watching out for those attitude diseases, caution, pessimism, complaining that can just sabotage everything.
The speaker's final challenge is pretty direct, almost confronting. If you don't like how it is for you, change it. Simple as that. If it doesn't suit you, change it. If it isn't enough, change it.
And that incredibly freeing idea, you can change. You don't ever have to be the same again, only by choice. I love this line. If you don't like your present address, change it. You're not a tree.
Huh. Yeah, you're not rooted to the spot. You have agency.
Absolutely. So maybe the thought to leave everyone with today, building on that law of sowing and reaping, the idea that you reap much more than you sow, and you're planting seeds every day with your actions, your habits, your thoughts. What kind of harvest are you actually setting yourself up for, say 5 or 10 years down the road?
That's a sobering question.
And maybe more concretely, what one small change in your daily planting starting tomorrow could make the biggest positive difference in that future harvest?
Or thinking about guarding the mind. If that's so critical, what's one piece of, let's call it mental trash? Maybe a specific news habit, a negative influence, a type of media that you could consciously decide to limit or eliminate from your mental factory starting now.
Lots to think about there.
Definitely. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into some really foundational ideas.
Yeah, thanks everyone. And remember that core message. The major key to your better future really is you.